Yeah! Just laying in there with some mastery. Okay, welcome to another episode of 12 Tone Warrior, the channel for classic rock weekend warrior keyboard players, or anyone who's interested in watching this channel. Quite honestly, you don't have to be a weekend warrior keyboard player to enjoy the things I talk about or may show on this channel. And one of the things I wanted to do, and I'm going to do today, it wasn't going to be my first choice for today's video, but I decided to go with my influences. This also gives me a chance to do a few reaction, quote-unquote, videos, which are kind of a popular thing on the internet today. So I'll have a little fun with that, but I'll get to show you how basically what I used to listen to as a teen and what influenced me the most as a keyboard player, in the terms of classic rock and a little into country. So what I'll do is, and I want to divide this up into three parts. Part one will be how I got influenced the most on acoustic piano. The basic, how you would approach a rock band as an acoustic pianist. And then the second part will be concentrated on electric piano. Who influenced me the most on rock electric piano. And then the third part will be who influenced me the most on Hammond organ technique and style. So let's that'll be what this is about. I did want to do I was originally going to make today's episode about how to do your rig at a gig, if that makes any sense. In other words, setting up, getting your volume levels right, getting your sounds in a row and everything you need to do to pull off a gig. But I think I'm going to save that for the next installment. So today will be influences. So who influenced me the most in being the kind of keyboard player that I am or have turned out to be? So let's go first with, since I consider my primary instrument to be a piano, and that's the instrument I consider the most basic to approach classic rock with. Of course, there's others that I mentioned we're going to get into, but it really starts with piano. If I think you haven't got the acoustic piano part down, you're not ready for the other parts yet. And acoustic piano opens you up to a whole different range of styles that you can apply to classic rock. So really, who do I consider to be my main influence in acoustic piano for rock? And really, I would consider the person I consider to be the gold standard for applying acoustic piano to rock music would be Chuck Leavell. He's sort of my main influence in that area, and I am, as a player, mainly influenced by him when it comes to acoustic piano. Now, everyone knows he's the keyboard player and has been for a long time for the Rolling Stones, and that's no accident. That Mick and Keith know a good player when they hear one. He was also for a long time the keyboard player for the Allman Brothers Band. Back in the 70s, and that's really where I caught on to him. It was that I remember Christmas of 1973, my brother and I got the stereo and we recorded the Allman Brothers at the Cow Palace in San Francisco that Christmas Eve, or I think it was New Year's Eve. It was new because we got the stereo recorder it was an 8-track stereo recorder for Christmas that year, and then we recorded the Allman Brothers live when our parents were out at the Elks Club or something like that. So, and I remember I was so influenced by that style of keyboard playing. That piano style just mesmerized me back when I was 13 years old. So let's get into a little. We're going to listen to some Chuck Leavell, and my choice piece of Chuck Leavell. Oops, let me get my my set here ready to play this. Okay, so my choice here for the Chuck Leavell example is his version, or the Allman Brothers Band version of Jessica. And I chose this one from, I really wanted to get one from 1973 if I can find it, but that was hard to find, especially a good color version. So I chose this one from 1986, which goes back, I think, far enough back to get the feel for what I was influenced by. Yeah. All right, the band kicks in. Notice the fine dual guitar work. Something you as a keyboard player should be appreciating. So you just comp along with them, let the guitars do their work. Whoa! Did you notice that little lick he put in there? Kind of like a Floyd Kramer lick right out of a Patsy Cline song from 1961. Let's go over that a little. Let's hear that again. Right there. Nice. Now, this organ part's being played by Gregg. Even though this organ part is Gregg, you as a keyboard player in the band should probably pick that part up. But with your other hand, get up on the organ, and you can relax a little on the piano. Make sure you get that organ with the fast Leslie in there. Yeah. Here's the climb up. All right, here's Chuck's solo. Take it away, Chuck. So he isn't hopping right in. Notice he's got time. This is a live gig. He's just kind of creeping in on it, relaxing a little. Working up to it. Working on the vamp again. And here we go. Now this is his official solo from Brothers and Sisters. He starts off his solo. Now, let me pause this. Notice he starts off his solo when he is finally into it, from just so the audience knows and gets that tickle of that original melodic phrase. He goes into it, and then you'll notice as he goes on with the solo, he'll get lost in his own solo and go different places before reinstating something again from the Brothers and Sisters solo. Watch this. It's genius. Nice. All right, now he's traveling away from the original Brothers and Sisters solo. He's taking it somewhere. So he's improvising. This is pure improvisation. And this is what I enjoy doing when I'm gigging. I like to just take that solo my own way and then get back into it later. Nice octave work. This is a Chuck Leavell specialty. This sound is a Chuck Leavell specialty. Those octaves, down, up and down the diatonic or pentatonic scale, up and down. Do 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 do. That, I mean, that's totally from Chuck. That sound. Sweet, sweet. Now he's kind of creeping back a little, laying into it. Nice. Nothing too hairy here, just laying into some nice notes. Yeah. Here we go. Now he's reinstating he's going back into a recognizable piano phrase from the Brothers and Sisters solo. He's bringing it back home, his solo. Notice how loosely he just handles all this, like it's nothing. There's an octave work again. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah! Alright, now the band decides to do a little something here for a few bars before the climb up. Here we go. And back to the guitars. Good job, Chuck. There's your organ work again. Here, if you're the single keyboard player in the band, which these guys have two, Gregg and Chuck Leavell, you should be handling that organ work. You can lay off the piano a little and do those organ pads. Nice. It's nice just to be able to now groove back on the piano and listen to somebody else's solo. A nice, sweet guitar solo. Now it's your time to relax. It's his time to come up with something. You can hear it kind of coming to the end. Now, there we go. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Get those organ swirls in there. Yep. And we're home. Yeah, there's those Floyd Kramer licks again. Always tossed in there a little. It's nice. Now here's a part where you can hold an organ pad down with one hand and do some piano licks with the other hand. This is classic Allman Brothers, extending these endings until the end of the earth. Here we go. Yeah, and there we go. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that acoustic piano section of my influences. Now we're going to move over to electric piano, and who influenced me the most with regard to electric piano playing in rock, in classic rock. Ian McLagan. Yes, Ian McLagan of the Faces, or formerly of the Small Faces and then the Faces. But yeah, this guy's playing, he practically defined the sound of what we keyboard players call the dirty whirly sound. And I had mentioned in a previous video or episode of this that I considered that sound to be somewhat favorably bubblegumish and adds this kind of cute bubblegummy sound when it's added to a rhythm guitar part. But I think Ian took it, he kind of took that sound and he overdrove it. It had its sort of overdriven sound, and it didn't sound so sweet. It had kind of a dirty, gnarly tone to it. And when played with Ronnie Wood's, chugging guitar riffs, it had a different effect. It kind of sounded, they sounded really, like a club band, a real bar band. The Faces were kind of like a real club band that Rod Stewart would go play gigs with while he had his own solo career. So he would do these sweet songs like Maggie May and but he would also, in his solo career, but he would have these kind of dirty, nasty songs in his Faces career simultaneously. There was like the sweet Rod and the dirty Rod, but it's all good. I mean, his vocals, when applied to almost anything, comes out really good. So we're talking about this channel's about keyboard players, not singers. So we're going to concentrate on Ian McLagan's keyboard playing, and he shows you how it's done right in rock and roll in this song. It's called "Stay With Me" by the Faces. This is from live in 1972. Really the best prime performance I could find of this on the internet. So let's go with the Faces. Stay With Me, featuring Ian McLagan on electric piano, on the Wurlitzer, the Dirty Whirly. There's the classic riff. That riff that you just heard there is the most famous riff Ian McLagan ever did. It's wonderful. It's very, so this is about that this hammering staccato effect that he does that a lot of other keyboard players didn't do quite up to that point. He just gets in there and do 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 with the 16th notes barreling away. And now Ian McLagan's most famous riff of all time. Yeah! Killer. Okay, moving along. I hope that was an exciting bit of electric piano playing, and that's a song that Sheep Dip does, and we enjoy playing it very much. I think I even showed it in one of my intros for the show. If you go back to early episodes, I may bring that intro back again. I'm going to probably, rotate my intros as I make them, but whatever. That's not the subject of this right now. The subject is moving along to the third kind of influence in this that I have in rock keyboard playing, and that's for Hammond organ. And my real influence when it comes to this is Gregg Rolie in his Santana days. That's what I drank in the most. That felt like something to me that I wanted to do. Now, of course, we're talking about the same Gregg Rolie who later founded Journey with one of these Santana members, Neil Schon, the guitarist. So this is Neil Schon's first opportunity in the spotlight, is with this early Santana band. This is from 1971 that I'm going to show you. The song is called Jungle Strut, and it's from the Santana 3 album. So this is Neil Schon's first big thing in the spotlight, and the band still has Gregg Rolie in it. I think he would be out by the next album. So the Santana band would start to morph into sort of like more a jazz fusion thing for a little while before getting more into pop. But at this point, they're still very much Latin rock. They still have that early Santana sound. And it's that Gregg Rolie keyboard playing, especially if you watch like his classic appearance in the Woodstock film. That's the best keyboard playing in the whole Woodstock film, is Gregg Rolie playing with Santana. So we're talking like some master keyboard playing here. From Gregg, and in this Santana video, Jungle Strut. Let's do it. All right, camera, get on Gregg. There you go. Hey, Gregg. One important thing about Rolie's technique is that choppy thing he does. He'll like glide up to a note and then that I completely learned from him and almost no one else. Well, I hope that was all a bit of fun. Yes, so those are really my keyboard influences, really the main ones, and all related to playing in classic rock. So I do have other influences, of course, in fusion and in prog, because I grew up listening to those too, and also played in one or two bands that gave that kind of music a shot. But what I mostly do is, this is really where my heart and soul is in all of this classic rock keyboarding. And these are my influences. So I hope you enjoyed this installment of 12 Tone Warriors. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to be reminded of future installments, please subscribe. Have yourself a good one until next week.